Okay then, Raiders, we are back and I've got loads to go over today as we've got a brand new weekly trials listing, and this one is a bit of a problematic one, mainly because people are able to get hundreds of thousands of points inside of here, demotivating a load of players. But we're going to show you guys all of the new ones that have come into the new weekly trials and how it is that you can best complete them and be able to keep up with all of the big streamers and stuff doing some weird things right now. We've also got to take a look at the Steam charts because, my lord, a month into this game and it's still close to hitting brand new all-time peaks. It's wild to me, but we've got a lot to break in on this video, plus an interesting question towards the end, so make sure you stay tuned to that one. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And also make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option. And we've now got our own tinned alternatives. Links in the description. Use code CloudPlays at checkout for a cheeky discount. Not only that, but we have also got a giveaway for a copy of the game, or if you've already got it, we'll reply it with Raider tokens. The announcement for this one is coming up tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned for it. Get down to the comment section and put in a blue love heart for the cold snap, and it will enter you in. Remember, it's being announced tomorrow inside of the Discord, link in the description. Don't miss that one. With that being said, let's dive into the game and see what's happening right now inside of Arc Raiders. So starting off, we're inside of the brand new weekly trials. And as you can see, we've already gone through and done a few of them, but there are some problems that we're starting to see. We'll come back to the first one, the cold snap update one, in just a moment, because we've got the deal damage to shredders. Now, this one is actually quite easy to do. If we head over to Celemontis, you can just go ahead and take those out with pretty much anything heavy penetration-wise. You can utilize anvils, you can utilize pharaohs, or if you want a really cheap alternative, just going in with the impact grenades. 4 to 5 of them will sometimes take it out, and you can obviously utilize those quite quickly. If you go in a trio, it will obviously help you out a lot more. On top of that one, we've also got the damage flying arc enemies. This one is a very easy one, as you've already done pretty much most of the time. You can go ahead with snitch scanners and call loads of them in, or you can just naturally do this throughout some of your high-end missions anyway, inside of night raids, cold snaps, and so on and so forth. It is pretty much one of the easiest things to do, so you should be able to solidify at least 1 3-star, even without trying. Opening the arc probes. Now, this one is a very interesting one because this one is probably one of the easiest ones to date. The main reason for that is if we go into the electromagnetic storm, you can essentially just take 3 of your teammates and just split off around the map, and you can just go ahead and find loads of arc probes. Now, they actually indicate them on the map when you get close to them, so keep an eye on your map and make sure that you're just running around collecting as many as you can. Again, for some reason, they don't have the split between solos and trios. So if you can get into a trio and run around individually, you'll be able to collect a lot more and collectively get a higher score, just like we have with around 22,000 in the open arc probes on an electromagnetic storm. And finally, destroying the fireballs. Now, destroying the fireballs is generally quite easily done. Again, we did it over on the Buried City. You guys can obviously go ahead and do it wherever you wish that you can do, but the Buried City for me was probably one of the easier ones to be able to find the fireballs because they are just so obviously placed inside of certain buildings, so you can go ahead and get those done really quickly. Now, the problem that we've got with one of them is this one right here, the throw snowballs at rocketeers. Now, this one is an interesting one, and it was quite fun when people weren't able to actually work their way around this. Unfortunately, there are a few things that you guys can do to be actually able to get this one done very, very quickly, and sometimes even at a high scoring. So if you just want the average scoring, you can go ahead and just throw them at them normally. It's quite easy to do that, or you can go ahead and get a snap hook and be able to jump on top of them, at which point you can then just continuously throw down on the rocketeers, have a good time, and then blow them up and jump off. Really nice and easy. A lot of you guys will have already been doing that, although some people out there are able to get some insane scores. As you can see via this leaderboard that we've got right here, the top scorer on my leaderboard is at 128,000 points. Now, why are they at 128,000 points? Well, I took a scaz around the internet to find out exactly what I could find, and what I found was actually extremely, extremely interesting. So what you can essentially go ahead and do is go ahead and utilize one of the showstopper grenades, which essentially detonates after a bit of a delay and then obviously hits them with an arc stun radius, and that will essentially stun them into the ground, and the rocketeer will then go down to the ground. Now, sometimes the rocketeer will flip over on its way down and will then just lay on the floor, at which point you can then just bombard it with as many snowballs as you've got inside of your inventory. And if you place yourself well enough, well, you'll just be able to continuously do that for over 100,000 points worth. month. If you do this with a trio, it all collectively adds up at 250 points per snowball. You guys are going to be able to get this thing done extremely fast. A very concerning factor indeed. Now, obviously, a lot of people are abusing the life out of that right now. As to whether Embark are going to allow that to be the case, we'll have to wait and see. But a lot of people are taking it negatively and stating that essentially there is now a massive problem with this, meaning that Trials really isn't even worth doing this week just because of that alone. For me personally, it just still gives me something that I want to work towards. The Trials are probably one of the one things inside of the game that I aim for the most, mainly because I prefer the PvE aspect of the game, therefore it works more for me. But I want to know what you guys are thinking via the comment section below, because I think that there is a lot to be said about it. Now, if you just want a simple 3-star with your snowballs, then it is very easy to get a hold of. You can take in around 25 as long as you get the direct hits and aim for about 6,000 total points. It works out to be about 250 per snowball, so if you are solo, using the showstopper is probably one of the easiest ways to do it and making sure that you can actually get your hands on it. But yeah, you shouldn't need too many to be able to get that main 3-star initiative, and you can go ahead and get that completed. For those of you guys who are wanting to grind harder, well, apparently right now you actually can. It's absolutely wild, and I'm not too sure why they've done something with it, but it's out there right now. So if you are going to abuse it, now is the time to do so. On top of that, we've also got to talk about something very interesting inside of the game right now, which is the actual amount of people bloody playing it. Because yet again, we have got so many people playing this that we've almost beat the all-time peak for the player base inside of the game. A month later, I cannot tell you a single game that has been able to do that, but it's looking to me that there is just going to be an absolute wave inside of this game. 2026 is going to be a huge avenue for it, and I'm intrigued to see what it is that they do with this newfound fame, because realistically, with numbers like that, this is going to only get better and better. And we've got to take a look a little bit into the Cold Snap update and what it is that they actually brought to the table with it. Because the candleberries, this for me was a very interesting question. Arc Raiders News posted up on Twitter, the candleberries become useless after completing the Flicker in Flames event. You can't do anything with them, and they didn't count towards the Harvest Plants trial last week. Weirdest part is the description says that people relied on them to make medicine for ages, but you can't craft any medical items with them. Is there more to them? What do you think? Now, I actually don't think that there is anything more to them. I think they were utilizable for the Flicker in Flames event, and then that was it, going to be done and dusted, which we've got 14 days remaining left on the clock for. So if you haven't done it already, now is the time to go ahead and get it and get those candleberries gathered. But I do wish that hopefully something does come through for these and it becomes a little bit more viable to actually utilize. I now don't collect any of them, and those who I do have, I've given to friends who still need them and then never use them again. But yeah, it's a weird one, but a really interesting question that I thought I'd ask you guys. And moving on from that, we have got 1 day remaining, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel, because tomorrow we've got a brand new store that's going to be updating in the morning, and hopefully we can get some really cool skins come through to the store, and we'll be uploading that video as soon as we possibly can for you guys to make sure that you stay up to date on all things here inside of Arc Raiders. And taking a look at your top comments from the previous video where we had a lot to go over with regards to new skins, the blackout potential mode, and skin changes overall, you guys had a lot to say. But this first person right here called Old Sleepy states, bro, it's been 2 months, so people really have to stop complaining about lack of content. If you know life the game, the lack of content is by no fault of your own. Now, this is obviously 110% correct. This game for me is at a perfect pace, and I don't understand how they've managed to nail it down, but I just don't seem to be getting bored of it. I think that the way that they're releasing everything is working amazingly. We have now come through to the end of Q4 2025, and I'm really hoping that they stick with the roadmaps that they had for Q4 2025 and give us maybe a Q1 roadmap for 2026. I think that would be really cool. They didn't give too much away, but we knew things were coming, and I'm really excited to see where this game can go. So hopefully they do provide us with that one in the next few weeks. Moving on from that, this next one from Dr. Stuff states, PC players asking for Blackout in Stellar is pure comedy. 110%. I do actually think that that is pretty damn funny, and I would not really want to be going into a Blackout inside a Stellar. It kind of screams just wanting to be killed instantaneously. But yeah, it would be quite funny to maybe do once or twice. I just can't imagine it being a game mode that people would want to utilize all the time. And next up, this one right here from Khaled Alman states, new deck and free. Arc Raiders never disappoints, and actually they seem to be hitting that narrative right now. They don't seem to be disappointing absolutely anybody, and we just seem to be hitting higher strength ranks as we go through the weeks. I can't wait to see exactly what they do in the future because, my lord, you just can't seem to stop these guys. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. It has been a very interesting time indeed inside of Arc Raiders with today's Trials outfit. And yeah, go ahead and get those Rocketeers sorted and flipped over, boys. It's a hilarious one, that's for sure. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, appreciate your faces. And as always, I'll see you in the clouds.